The American dream did not begin in 2025. It didn't originate with Hollywood billboards or with tech billionaires in Silicon Valley. Its roots stretch far deeper, carried across oceans by people fleeing poverty, monarchies, and rigid social classes. They arrived in the New World seeking something rare, the possibility to reinvent themselves. This early idea was not yet called the American dream. It was simply the belief that in America, effort could lead to reward, and birth did not determine destiny. During the late 1800s and early 1900s, America transformed dramatically. What had once been a land of farms and frontier towns became an energetic industrial powerhouse. Steel, oil, railroads, and sprawling factories reshaped the landscape. Millions of immigrants passed through Ellis Island, carrying little more than hope in their hands. They worked in dangerous mines, sweatshops, and rail lines, enduring long hours and brutal conditions. Yet even within this harsh environment, something powerful was happening. People were rising. A shoemaker's son could become a lawyer. A coal miner's daughter could become a doctor. A family with nothing could build a business. For the first time in history, social mobility wasn't just possible, it was happening on a massive scale. Then came World War II, the turning point that reshaped the dream forever. When the war ended, America emerged unmatched. Unlike Europe and Asia, the United States had no destroyed cities, no bombed factories, and no collapsed infrastructure. Instead, it had wealth, production capacity, and global influence. The G-Bill allowed returning soldiers to buy homes and attend college. Massive government investments built highways, suburbs, and schools. A single salary could afford a house, a car, healthcare, college, and even a comfortable retirement. For millions of families, life improved almost automatically. The American middle class became the engine of the country, and the dream became its identity. Hollywood helped amplify it. Advertisements sold it. Politicians promised it. Immigrants believed it. Children grew up expecting it. The idea that anyone can rise became a national religion. Real-life success stories, people who turn nothing into everything, reinforce the myth. Innovators built devices that changed the world. Entrepreneurs launched companies from garages. Immigrants became icons. This was the golden age of the American dream, and for decades, it propelled the United States to the center of global culture, technology, and ambition. But even at the height of prosperity, cracks quietly formed beneath the surface. These cracks would eventually reshape the entire nation. The decline of the American dream was not sudden. It did not collapse in a single year or because of a single crisis. It was a slow erosion, economic, cultural, political, and global, that began in the 1970s and continued for decades. In 1971, America abandoned the gold standard, sending the economy into unfamiliar territory. Inflation rose, oil prices skyrocketed, and unemployment climbed. For the first time since World War II, Americans felt uncertain about their future. The stable foundation of the dream began to tremble. In the 1980s and 1990s, wealth surged for the rich, while wages stagnated for the working class. Corporations expanded globally, moving manufacturing jobs overseas. The economy grew, yet ordinary families struggled to keep up. Credit cards, loans, and mortgages masked the widening gap. People still believed in the dream, but for many, their lifestyles were funded by debt, not prosperity. The dream was shifting from a path of stability to a competition for survival. The 2000s exposed even deeper fractures. The dot-com crash wiped out investments, global outsourcing accelerated. After 9/11s, the nation entered long wars, draining resources and confidence. And in 2008, the financial system collapsed. Millions lost their homes. Millions lost their jobs. Retirement accounts disappeared overnight. The dream began to feel fragile. People started asking whether the system that once empowered the middle class was still working. Between 2010 and 2020, America split into two different realities. In cities like New York, Seattle, and Silicon Valley, tech workers and innovators thrived. They built apps, platforms, cloud systems, and startups that reshaped modern life. They believed the dream was alive and well. But in former industrial towns, rural areas, and forgotten communities, families faced low wages, rising rent, medical debt, and declining opportunities, they believed the dream was disappearing. The gap between perception and reality widened, revealing a nation divided not only by wealth, but by hope. The 2020s turned all those cracks into fractures. The COVID-19 pandemic shut down the world. Businesses collapsed, millions lost income, supply chains broke. Inflation surged to levels unseen for decades. Housing prices exploded, creating a generation convinced that owning a home was impossible. Rent soared faster than salaries. People worked harder yet felt they were falling further behind. For many, the American dream no longer represented opportunity, it represented anxiety. Work evolved rapidly, often leaving workers behind. Gig jobs replaced stable employment. Healthcare remained tied to jobs, creating fear and dependence. AI and automation transformed industries, threatening traditional careers. Companies demanded more productivity without offering more security. Americans found themselves grinding longer hours simply to stay afloat, not to get ahead. Meanwhile, the wealth gap widened to historic extremes. The top 1% accumulated more wealth than the entire middle class combined. Corporate profits reached record highs, yet wages lagged behind. Younger generations faced financial burdens their parents never imagined: student loans, medical bills, and inflated housing costs. Social mobility declined, the very essence of the American dream rising through hard work grew uncertain. Cultural pressure added another layer. A national sense of exhaustion spread. People felt overwhelmed, isolated, and politically divided. Confidence in institutions weakened, communities fractured. The dream depended not only on economics, but on belief, and that belief was fading. Even immigration reflected the changing dynamic. Immigrants still saw America as a land of opportunity. For many, the dream remained real compared to struggles in their home countries. But for millions of American-born citizens, the dream felt like a fading promise, one that their parents enjoyed, but they might never reach. And now, in 2025, we stand at a crossroads. The world is changing faster than ever economically, technologically, culturally, and politically. The American dream is no longer a simple story of buying a house, raising a family, and climbing a corporate ladder. That version of the dream is fading for millions, replaced by something new, unpredictable, and more complex. The modern American dream is not about stability, it is about independence. Instead of focusing on homeownership or long-term jobs, people chase freedom from debt, freedom to control their own time, freedom to work remotely, freedom to build online businesses, and freedom to create their own paths. Traditional milestones are no longer mandatory. Many young Americans no longer see college as essential. Many no longer view homeownership as realistic. Many seek careers outside the traditional job market, turning instead to entrepreneurship, freelancing, investing, content creation, and technology. The dream still exists, but it has shifted profoundly. It now demands skills, adaptability, and strategy. The old dream rewarded hard work. The new dream rewards innovation. The old dream relied on stable institutions. The new dream relies on individuals navigating a rapidly changing digital world. Despite all the challenges, America remains a global center for innovation. The world's top universities still attract the brightest minds. Silicon Valley continues to shape the future with new technologies. The United States remains a magnet for ambition, creativity, and reinvention. Immigrants continue to arrive with dreams, determination, and hope. For them, the American dream is still alive. But we must acknowledge the truth. The dream is no longer equal for everyone. It is easier for those with digital skills, resources, and support. It is harder for those burdened by debt, rising costs, or limited opportunities. The dream exists, but access to it is uneven. So the question we face in 2025 is not simply whether the American dream is alive or dead. The real question is whether we can adapt to a world that is evolving faster than ever before. The dream has not disappeared, it has transformed. The old path is fading, but new paths are emerging, offering opportunities that didn't exist a generation ago. Success is still possible, but it requires new tools, new mindsets, and new strategies. The American dream didn't die, it changed. And now, Each of us must answer the question, in a world moving this fast, can we evolve quickly enough to claim it? History is watching. The future is waiting.